Hello baby gangsters, this is Calvin, also known as Homer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Portal 2. We just found out more about Caroline, and we just found out about Cave Johnson as well. His smile, disingenuous. What's he looking at? The balls, the light balls. They are very nice. Yeah, but like a very, very interesting story in addition to this game, honestly. Is this all we have to do here? Like, we got to learn more about him here with this trophy case, which is really cool. Oh man, this music. We're in a salt mine right now, currently. Again, the scale is insane. The music is insane. We hopping down? And it seems like this is very acidic water down here as well. Oh. Is this an ashtray? There's no way. Is it that 50s? That this is an ashtray? This music is so intense. I'm sorry, but like, again, I keep talking about the scale, but it's so important to me. Like how massive this place feels. There's like the broken sign. Like, and it's not just making yourself feel smaller, because that is an aspect to it, but I also think there's a feeling to like, a feeling of like insignificance spiritually as well amongst like this gigantic structure. You know, it's crazy. Wait for attendant to begin lift. Any more things from Cave Johnson? I've been really enjoying this game, by the way. I've been enjoying... What was that? What are lights? Oh, dear Lord. I'm trying to look around just in case we miss anything, but you know, we will miss stuff. It is a first time through, of course. I thought we were going there. Caution, do not fall down. I love these like very like, do not fall down elevator shot. Yes. I would hope you would, that would be something you would want to look at this from up above as well. Man, I may be weird. Maybe you guys agree with me. What is that? It's like a giant rattling. I may be weird, but like big gigantic, like again, like this rusted structure just makes me feel so weird. Do we go down or do we go across? Is there a way to go over here? There's a door over here that says Alpha. There's something over here. What is that? Is that the elevator? No. What happens if we go down a little bit? Like, there is a door over there that we probably can go through. Don't fall down elevator shaft. I mean, we can, right? We legitimately can. What in the hell? Wait, is this just a thing where you can walk down here? I just want to see for sure. The noises are they're messing with my mind. They rattle in the game and they're rattling for me too. This might be a thing where you can just walk all the way down. This might just be that. It sounds like a roaring monster. Right? Okay, this was just like a way to get back down. But again, I understand. Before, I know someone's probably gonna say, Calvin, of course, that's what stairs are for. But I meant like maybe there was something on the way down, right? There was something we could see on the way down. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's head back up. We could use the elevator, but we made our bed, and now we gotta sleep in it. But yeah, the noises of this place. I talked about how it makes it feel so alive, and that really is the case with this game. It feels monstrous. It feels like the machines themselves are alive. The mechanics, the metal, the rusted metal. It feels like it's creaking right now. Yeah, there must be a way to just go from here as well. Yeah, I just want to see, 100%. Trying to be more inquisitive with myself with this, you know? Trying to make sure we're looking everywhere when I want to. Because I feel like, you know, being inquisitive for the sake of being inquisitive is just like, you know, that means you're just forcing yourself to do something. But I like to do it in a sense of just like, if I think something catches my mind, I go for it. Can we shoot this? Nope. You know what I mean? I'd always rather do it that way. Personally. I usually say it in the post, but I can say this as well before we go any further. I do indeed release these videos early if you want to see them. Only 2 Portal videos a month are usually on time rather than early, but all the rest are usually very early. Can we shoot this over there? And it's the lowest tier in the Patreon. I'm not going to be ashamed of plugging my Patreon ever. 100%. We can't shoot these, right? We can shoot this though. And that's probably 100% intentional we can shoot this. But where can we lead this to? I mean, anywhere that has like a walkable... Is that just us walking on this? No, that can't be. Somewhere here? Over here? Like, see that thing up there? So we can get there from there. Okay, great. Oh my god, that's kind of scary, isn't it? Notice, experiment discontinued. That seemed to be
happening. If you cut yourself at all in the course of these tests, you might have noticed that your blood is pure gasoline. That's normal. We've been shooting you with an invisible laser that's supposed to turn blood into gasoline. So
the test they were doing. The test they were doing here, Cave Johnson, by the way, J.K. Simmons, it seems, doing the a great performance. But
we're gonna have a superconductor turned up full blast and pointed at you for the duration of this next test. I'll be honest, we're throwing science at the wall here to see what sticks. No idea what it'll do.
Oh Jesus!
Best case scenario, you might get some superpowers. Worst case, some tumors, which we'll cut out.
Again, like these experiments, like just science for science sake. It's not like they're trying to make any advancements with that one. They're just seeing if it'll work. Just throwing all these experiments they can, like making your blood gasoline. Like what? In what way would this help? Is to see like if they could like fuel someone's blood or do blood transfusions through gasoline? I think they want us to do a momentum jump here, all the way over to there. That's crazy though. I think that's what they want us to do. Let's check this though.
If you need to go to the bathroom after this next series of tests, please let a test associate know. Because in all likelihood, whatever comes out of you is going to be coal.
Coal?
Only temporary, so do not worry. If it persists for a week, though, start worrying and come see us because that's not supposed to happen.
Is it J.K. Simmons or am I just saying that sounds like J.K. Simmons? But yeah, these experiments, man. I know they're like jokes, but like, it just goes to show like, to me it shows like a disdain and dislike for, how do I say, a disdain and a dislike for, not dislike, but a lack of care for the test subjects they brought in here. They treat them as nothing, 100% in my view. Now, here's the thing, we can obviously do this and just jump through here again, but like, how do we get momentum from here? We want to jump down somewhere maybe? Can we jump down here? And hit a platform here? Oh, look at that at the bottom of the elevator. Don't jump down the elevator shaft. I believe I will. I believe I will. That's really creative. But yeah, I understand it's supposed to be played off as comedy, but it's hard not for me to as well to be like, Jesus Christ, you know, what are they doing in this place? So we shoot this here. This is actually gonna be a very fun momentum piece as well, but we have to go from like here, I'm guessing. Right? This is gonna be insane. This is gonna be insane. Is that right? It blew up there? Yes. This is gonna be insane. We land here? Oh my god! It worked. I love the way that like now they're using like the things we learned in Portal 1 about like the angled platforms, and we're doing them naturally within the world now. Pump Station Alpha. That's what I call my workout room. No. I do not have a workout room. Wish I did though, that'd be really cool. Keep your allergens. Know your allergens, sorry. Pollen, animal dander, plastics, and antimatter. They found out people are allergic to antimatter, it seems. This area is so cool to explore. Like how it like feels very official, but it feels very old compared to the rest of the Aperture place, right? So there's obviously maybe an older station within this facility. Know your hazardous materials. Don't touch anything unfamiliar. Know your chemical hazards. Do not inhale fumes no matter how good they smell. I hear you. I hear you. What's this? Gel control pressure. I just pressed something. Should I press something? Who knows? Who knows? We started something. All the, by the way, can I say this too? These are terrifying to me. They really were closing off a lot of these experiments. So what's down here? Oh, this is scary. Let's not go there. Probably will have to go there. Okay, let's go here. I was going to shout Wheatley to light it up, but Wheatley ain't here. It doesn't seem there's anything down here. But there's noises coming from up top. At least like we got to check down here for a second. Maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll use something down there. I'm activating this for some reason. Oh, it's like the bottom of the elevator shaft. That's so fun. Looking at it from that perspective. This is a door we can open. There's a code on the door. Oh. How does one get up there? There's supposed to be a kaboom. An earth-shattering kaboom. Land on this scaffold. This rafter gel flow, so we're pumping some gel in here. Safety first. Yeah, you have all the corporate type of like posters here and stuff like this too. And and the guy who is the who controls this speaks very corporate too. Maybe this isn't how we get here. Unless we can shoot this. We can. Yep. He speaks very corporate, right? Like it's like no matter how often we no matter how dangerous it sounds, he makes it sound like it's a team effort. You know what I mean? You're just pissing coal. Which is crazy. This music again, there's so much discovery in the music, but at the same time too, there's like a very big dramatic feeling in the music too. Oh, we can pass down here too.
They say great science is built on the shoulders of giants.
Yeah?
Not here. At Aperture, we do all our science from scratch. No hand-holding.
Is that how that works? So he's saying that like the whole idea of it's built on, oh god, that's a big jump. Built on the idea of giants is that like it's adding to other people's experiments, right? It's like taking other people's philosophy and adding to it yourself. And in this sense, he's like saying that like usually you would take someone else's experiments and add to that. But in this case, it seems like they're just doing everything like, and they said earlier they're throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. I don't think anyone experimented in putting gasoline in someone's blood, if I'm being honest. Oh wow, this is really cool. This is like a separation thing for levels, like we usually get. Really great area. Really great area. Love the natural platforming. The platforming is very fun. But then again, this game always had like really fun platforming, but I think it's just really fun here as well. Honestly. Honestly, very. Oh, look how dark and spooky this is. Turn on the lights. Oh, they are turning the lights.
All right, let's get started. This first test involves something the lab boys call repulsion gel.
Wait.
You're not part of the control group, by the way. You get the gel. Last poor son of a gun got blue paint.
Huh?
All joking aside, that did happen. Broke every bone in his leg.
Jesus.
Tragic, but informative. Or so I'm told.
He does have such a charisma to him as well, though. But you know what's so crazy about that, too, is that, like, you know, we're hearing that, like, they give people, like, false tests as a way of, like, probably, like, to do, like, mind tests as well, right? Look, we're inside this dome, this, like, circular thing here. It's all rusted, so it's very, very old. I mean, probably decades old. But yeah, it looks like we're doing tests here. And it's interesting because, like, the core basis of Portal has been doing tests, right? And doing little puzzles in these tests. So they found a way to still do the tests, it seems, if we are doing the gel test, while also still making it make sense in the story as we're escaping, right? From, I guess not escaping, but as we're trying to get over the aftermath of what happened with Wheatley. I think it's a very interesting way of doing it. Remember, this test is unsolvable without an Aperture Science portable quantum tunneling device. That's what this is called? If you have not received one, please find a test associate before participating in anything Shaft 09 enrichment activities. I will indeed. Again, these areas are so cool because, again, look at the difference between where we were doing our testing normally. It just seems so, like, white wall. What does that say? Air duct? Duct 78? This was built in 1953, it seems. Repulsion gel. This music, man. Stunning. Was Aperture's first attempt to create a dietetic pudding substitute. It's true, the gel of the sweeter, slightly less non-toxic form of fiberglass insulation causes subsequently ingested food items to bounce off the lining of Dieter's distended stomach and out of his or her mouth. For various reasons, this product was pulled from shelves. Because that is like just basically like, at that point, you wouldn't even enjoy the food. And you're putting non-toxic fiberglass insulation in your I don't care if it's non-toxic. This is the 50s. They're probably toxic as hell, even though they say non-toxic. They had a lot of different laws back then, by the way. They could lie about stuff. So is this the gel? So we can maybe... Oh god, it's like very real. It's very realistic. Caution? The music here is it's so mysterious. It makes you a little bit nervous, but there's a magic to it as well. So it says repulsion gel, so if we can bounce off it like it did in someone's lining, well, can we bounce off this? We can. Perfect. Okay. Hey, Chell. We want to get up the exit. That's where we're going. Oh, this momentum, right? For sure. I think so anyway, right? What does this do? That opens up the door, but for how long? Not long. We can hit this. No, because what would the momentum be in this sense? We want something to be able to hold this down. Because if I jump on this, will it be higher jump? It is a higher jump, so there is a momentum thing there for sure. But that just makes sense. That's just physics, right? If you drop a ball from a higher height, it's going to bounce higher. Caution, that's the professor doing the stuff with the Powerpuff Girls. Remember we made the Powerpuff Girls? Maybe we can jump and bounce up onto that. But we'd have to... This closes right away. Someone drawing on the wall over there. XX1. And also, since these tests seem to be much older, we also don't have like the hints we usually get in some way, you know? There's a block that drops from here, right? For sure. How do we get it? Unless we hit it. Do you think so? Oh, I mean, you see, we can get over here. Oh, here we go. Very well. Yeah, like this is like, it seems like intentionally so, it's a very primitive form of the testing that they would usually do on people, right? Now, if we're to believe that they did testing for the military, right? Do you think the stuff like turning people into gasoline, the stuff that like, and all that stuff was like a side effect of all that stuff that they were trying to do there? Because they were trying to turn people into like a mantis and have people fight the mantises. They were trying to put gasoline in people's blood. Do you think they were trying to do that for the military aspects for sure, right? It seems that way. Love this music.
The lab boys
That was fun. That was really fun.
that I should not have mentioned the control group. They're telling me I ought to stop making these pre-recorded messages. That gave me an idea. Make more pre-recorded messages. I pay the bills here. I can talk about the control group all damn day.
His voice is perfect for that. His voice is perfect for defying his, you know, what people's advice is. You know, like, I make the rules. So it's like, hey, don't inform, because again, the reason why they would not want you to inform the people about the control group is like, oh wait, so these tests are like pretty much, you've sent people to their doom before. But he's like, I'll do whatever I want. He has a really good, yeah, look, see, it's so primitive, right? It's like a primitive version of the test from before. It's like a 1950s version of it. It's very cool. It's a very cool idea. Saw that there. We need another thing to latch onto, though. Is there something down here? I don't. Maybe there's something on this side? Here? Surprise, surprise. My heart nearly jumped. I thought it was about to fall there. I thought it was about to fall. Little office over here. But what's this? Is there stairs down? We can drop down here for sure, but I want to check what the office is first for sure. This is so cool. It's so cool seeing like a older version of what these tests might have been. Again, look at these office buildings as well. Look, the little telephone. This is like a typewriter thing. Drawers? We don't have these anymore. I'm joking. Let's see. People were saying that they felt like it looked clunky playing with a controller, and people like were saying that they don't like. Oh,
test, we put nanoparticles in the gel. In layman's terms, that's a billion little gizmos that are going to travel into your bloodstream and pump experimental genes and RNA molecules and so forth into your tumors.
Into our.
Now, maybe you don't have any tumors. Well, don't worry. If you sat on a folding chair in the lobby and weren't wearing lead underpants, we took care of that too.
This is so 50s in a way that they just didn't care about, like, because even like in the facility we went before, they clearly didn't care about us, right? But in here, it's like there's like no, like there's minus regulations. There's like in the aperture in modern day that we were in, it definitely felt like there was like, you know, an ignoring of regulations. It feels like here they took all the regulations and minused them. You know what I mean? Like went back even further and made them affront to regulations. Because even there, it's like sitting on a chair is going to give you radiation and give you tumors. They assume you already have tumors if you're here. It's insane. But I was going to say, I've used a controller my whole life, just to let people know. It's going to be way less comfortable for me to do mouse and keyboard. It will be a mess. It will be much more of a mess. So, am I actually going to get these? Is actually something going to happen to me if I jump on this thing? No, I'm going to have to. So we have to get this cube over here, which probably the best way we can do is just jumping on this and then go over here somehow. We can hit this. We can also hit this. So let's try jumping up here first. The hopping is actually very fun. I love that they're introducing new mechanics like this. We need that block. So in reality, we're going to have to jump off there and jump onto that, I'd say. But there's also something up there as well. Should we try it? Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna work. Do we shoot the ground? Even here, this is like strung together. You know, it's so weird and intentionally historic. They did a really good job of like differentiating and making this like look like the air-to-your portal things, it seems. Okay. So, oh, there's something there. Perfect. Yeah, we see it now. This always makes me feel so weird, this part here, like this type of stuff, like looking down onto the platform as well. It never feels right. Get the cube? What does it say on the cube? Sorry. Where's the cube? It just says, it's the aperture logo? It is, yeah. It is, yeah. And then we just hop over here like this. The way they make it sound like you're like doing something magical whenever you do that too is very funny. You know? That activates that, which leads up here. But how does one get there? Momentum? Is it a momentum thing again? Like if I drop down from up here maybe. No, sorry. If I drop down and go like this. Like this. Close. Do you hear the music? Hold to prevent bouncing. That's interesting. Okay. I still think it has something to do with momentum. Is there like here? There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, we could have just jumped right into that. Would have been fun. There we go. I like this. I really like the change. It's really cool. We're not done yet. Wait. Oh! Prince of Persia. Shall I go on? Shall I go on? This is like wall jumping in Prince of Persia. Oh god, it feels like momentum's going down. This is like wall jumping in Prince of Persia. It's so fun. Great stuff. Really fun stuff. Do we have to drop down here? No, we definitely do not. So what do we do when we have this block? Just jump back up and hit this, and that will activate this up here. Is there another place? There's the exit. Perfect. Again, we don't know that song because I haven't listened to it yet because I wanted to wait to listen to it in like my React show I do. But I do know the that line. She says I'm perfect. Shoo, kiss a kitty.
In case you got covered in that repulsion gel, here's some advice the lab boys gave me. Do not get covered in the repulsion gel.
Did you hear the turning of the
We
paper?
haven't entirely nailed down what element it is yet, but I'll tell you this, it's a lively
Sure.
one, and it does not like the human skeleton.
Again, this whole thing of just like, and it's so interesting as well because like GLaDOS, and I think it's an important thing to say, GLaDOS had no real care for us and was very corporate in speaking, but they were a machine at one point. I know they were a machine with a consciousness, but they were a machine. This dude has no care for us, is very corporate speaking, but he's a human. He got no excuse. There's no excuse for his very corporate speaking. There's no excuse. I mean, I think it is in some ways important, right? It's obviously not going to be like, you know, massive, but I do think there is like there is an intentional thing in my mind of like, you know, how both a machine and a human are very corporate. But one is a machine and one's a human. You know what I mean? There's
All
no
these
excuse.
science spheres are made of asbestos, by the way.
What?
Keeps out the rats. Let us know if you feel a shortness of breath, a persistent dry cough, or your heart stopping, because that's not part of the test. That's asbestos. Good news is the lab boys say the symptoms of asbestos poisoning show a median latency of 44.6 years. So if you're 30 or older, you're laughing. Worst case scenario, you miss out on a few rounds of canasta. Plus, you forwarded the cause of science by 3 centuries. I punch those numbers into my calculator, it makes a happy face.
No. I think he's diabolical. He's hilarious, but he's diabolical. The idea that, like, you know, it's like, hey, no, like, you're doing something for science. It's for science, you know? I wonder if that's been implanted in GLaDOS's mind since, like, even when she was created, the kind of, like, elements of that idea were, like, it's for science, you know? It's for the greater good. Your punishment is for the greater good. And that's interesting because there is, like, relations now where Cave Johnson sees your punishment as being for the greater good of science. GLaDOS sees it that way, too, you know? Such an interesting location. I think still bodies of water within containers like this look disgusting all the time to me. I think it's supposed to. It's not supposed to look like like roses, you know? It's not supposed to be like, oh wow, what a pretty little piece of still water. We can walk in this, okay. Is that a thing? You're not supposed to like ever jump into like still water in an area like that? Because you see sometimes people film it, right? They'll film like the idea of still water in an old abandoned factory. And like I look at it, it looks like a demon could live there. I would be like giving up hope, man. But I know our character is literally tenacious. Do not lean on the railing. Like, my first thought would be sea monster. You know? Oh, wow. Why, though? What seeketh he? Like, what does that do for us? I know I shot some portals, but what does it do for us? That's the big question. Unless there is something to do with momentum again. Unless we'll see something if we go up there. That's a good question. Good answer question. There's an exit. Up there. There's this over here. Is that shootable? No, it doesn't look shootable. Yeah, there is an exit up there, but I don't see any, like, platform there that we can hop up to. And we can't shoot that. Let's see. Oh. Is that shootable? Trying to get at an angle, maybe. Yeah, I don't think so. We have to look somewhere for something that's shootable. That will get us out of here. Nothing up there. There's a reason that's in the pillar, right? For sure. I was thinking we could use that to climb on something, but no. Is this all shootable? No, it's not. That from a distance that looks like we can shoot it, but it's actually just a plank of wood. Oh, there we go. Perfect. And then we just shoot this. Perfect. Okay. There's a switch over here. We could literally just enter there at any point. But I want to see what's over here as well. Okay. Just enter there. Oh god, it got dark, didn't it? Got very dark, didn't it? It's getting darker and darker earlier. Hello.
I like your style. You make up your own rules, just like me.
Yeah?
Bean Counter said I couldn't fire a man just for being in a wheelchair. Did it anyway. Ramps are expensive.
Oh, again, I think he is the essence of a corporate man in like the 50s who would do anything to save a buck. I'm not, by the way, I'm making it clear now, corporate men ain't better nowadays. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit around being like, oh, they're so good now. But I'm saying that like, you could do this openly. You know what I mean? And actually, we're getting to a stage where they can do it openly again, aren't we? We are getting to that stage. What does this do? Oh. Interesting. Oh. That's super interesting. So we have to move this, by the way. So now we have gel painted all around here. Do we want to shoot it somewhere else? We have to get up here somehow. Oh, okay. Easy. Right? Yeah. We make our own gel around here. I like the remnants of the gel on this too. It's a really cool touch. Wait, do we even need to do that? Can we just do this? Wait. And then do this. I love it. I love how we're literally getting it on the camera as well. This is, even though they're old, they're very expansive. That's where the exit is. But there's also this platform over here. But we can't shoot past that yet. But we can maybe somehow get it from over here. Let that shoot there. Let that shoot there. At least we can get in here. Right, we're in here now. So now we have to find a way to... Wait, we can do this. Right? But now we need to shoot this as well. But now it's shooting all the way over there instead. Wait, no, we want this. Because we want to jump down. Can we shoot through the floor here and use the momentum that way? To get to the exit? But that seems like it's too far. Unless... No, let's try it. No way!
Heads up, that coffee we gave you earlier had fluorescent calcium in it so we can track the neuronal activity in your brain.
No way.
There's a slight chance the calcium could harden and vitrify your frontal lobe.
Oh, really?
Don't stress yourself thinking about it. I'm serious. Visualizing the scenario while under stress actually triggers
We can't
the
even
reaction.
visualize our own stress. Then why tell us? Because he doesn't care. He does not care. So, this dropping of the goo here, incredible, right? Because you naturally would want to hit this, right? You naturally want to like hit a hole in this and then have the gel come out. I was like, oh, then we can't use that. Why would you do that? It inadvertently put a gel thing here that actually helped us jump even further. That's so freaking awesome. What a great level. I adore the level design of this game so far, of this section. It's so cool. And it's actually nice to have like a voice in the background. I think they understand that even if it's a robotic voice, it's nice to have someone in the background, even if it's a voice that clearly like is a very corporate mumbo jumbo speaking guy. It's nice to have someone here, because I feel like even you could do this alone and the feeling of loneliness would be very, very much there. But I feel like, you know, it definitely makes you feel less alone, even if it's a voice that you don't want to hear, you know, for sure. Anything before I go? No? Yeah, I love the new mechanic of the gel. It
Now,
actually
if
makes.
you're part of control group Kepler 7, we implanted a tiny microchip about the size of a postcard into your skull.
Oh my
Most likely
God.
you've forgotten it's even there. But if it starts vibrating and beeping during this next test, let us know. Because that means it's about to hit 500 degrees, so we're going to need to go ahead and get that out of you pretty fast.
But wouldn't like 500 degrees by the time you already realize it's in your head? Was that water now to clean off the gel, maybe? But by the time would you, by the time you already, that's a weird looking substance. Wouldn't that already have killed you if you have a 500 degree chip in your head? Wouldn't you just burn in your brain? Oh, actually, this could be a detriment because we need to stop the water, maybe. Maybe? I think this is more about stopping the water than anything. Just getting a little bit of we're covering a bit of ground here. Yeah, see, it's supposed to shoot over there, but we have to stop the water somehow. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. That makes sense. So, because it's the only way we're getting up there. Let's see. Could we jump out of there somehow? There's platforms up here. It drops down through here. Is there anything up there we can use, I wonder? How are we going to stop this water? Maybe there's like a switch up there, like a valve? Oh, there's a switch right there. But that's for the... Is that for the water? Wait. Can we bounce and hit the switch? Maybe? Oh my god. Oh, we can bounce off the walls. That's something. And that stops the water. But for how long? It don't matter how long. Oh, that's actually a long time. That's very nice. That's very generous. So if we go... That's very generous. Or is it? That was very generous. Thank you so much. But I love the idea of like having to cut off the water. I thought we were going to need to wash the blue
I'm
goop.
telling them, keep your pants on. All right, this next test may involve trace amounts of time travel. So, word of advice, if you meet yourself
Time
on
travel?
the testing track, don't make eye contact.
Huh?
Lab boys tell me that'll wipe out time. Entirely. Forward and backward. So, do both of yourselves a favor and just let that handsome devil go about his business.
Just like, oh yeah, there's me. Let him live his life. Honestly though, like it's interesting that he's always like, there's someone always like kind of directing him to do stuff, and I wonder if like he cared more about like while he like loved being in this business in some way, I wonder if he was like, you know, he looked down on the scientists in some ways who were like trying to do like kind of like some sort of safety regulations in some way. In the future that tries to warn you about this test, don't listen. Oh dear lord. Here's a momentum thing right away. So we can paint the wall here. But I wonder if we can paint this wall. Look at that. Oh. So where do we actually have to go here? If we bounce off the wall... Oh, that's great. That's perfect. I know what to do. This is awesome. So if I shoot this... and shoot this. Right, we land here. Shoot that there. Momentum time. So cool. Such a cool way of doing this. I love it. The addition of the blue bouncy stuff, the gel, fantastic. Just such a great idea. I know we're not done with this yet, but... Or maybe we are, who knows? Maybe that's the exit? No. There's an elevator of some kind. You will be hurt. Co-workers don't endanger others. The company replacements are costly. Science investigates and impede progress. This is, again, as I said, it's reverse regulations. It's reverse regulations. It's crazy. Is this like a platform going to take us somewhere? No, we can do this, right? Is this correct? Who knows? Nobody knows. There's also something up here. We can get back up there if needs be. But I'm starting to think that maybe we don't need to do that. That drop always gives me a heart attack. Maybe we're not even supposed to be... This is a weird one for me, though. Because we have to get up there, it seems. But I'm not quite sure how to get there. But that's the whole point of the portal, isn't it? We're not quite sure how to do things sometimes. Let's try and get back up here first of all. And just drop down here. And just take a look at everything from here. Unless we need to get some of the blue stuff here, because look at this. Unless we can shoot, but then... That doesn't seem right, does it? Like, if you can find a way to shoot this up here? Wait. Oh, but no, it deactivates once we do this, though. Yeah. Yeah, so that won't work. I know why you guys suggested that. Sometimes you guys suggest the craziest things. You know? It's good to get a look from all angles, though, isn't it? Is there something up there? Nope. There's a reason these are like this, though, right? There's a reason. But I think we need gel in some way. And there's a reason why they're showing us the gel here, it seems. Maybe. Oh! Perfect. Right? Yes! Lovely, 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 lovely. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. So that gel is going to constantly go through there now. Let's start just by shooting some gel in different places. Letting it drop down some places. Like there, like that. Maybe a little bit like that. Off the wall. Why not? Maybe a little bit coming out here. Just a little bit. A little bit here. And actually, I wonder if that's what we have to do. I wonder if I have to do that. Now that we painted everything, I think we have everything like thoroughly painted. So I'm gonna try this. Yes! That's so satisfying. That's such a satisfying feeling. That feeling of being able to do that, you know? And now we have this stuff here as well. Should we do this again with the... I think we should, right? Maybe I shouldn't jump. No, because then we'd have to go all the way back. That wouldn't make any sense. We'd have to go back up again. There's something we have to do here, for sure. Because we can shoot this, right? For sure. Well, actually... This would still be okay, right? Because then if we keep that up there, we can stay down there. But then we'd have to hop through here as well. I don't think that's possible. Yeah, I don't think it's possible to get back if you want to. It's a whole thing. Can you guys see it? Let me know. We'll do Dora the Explorer style. Swiping or swiping? Oh, sorry. No, sorry. Sorry. What's that there? That's a blue door. Oh. Is it just go through here, I guess, and hop down?
If you're hearing this, it means you're taking a long time on the catwalks between tests. The lab boys say that might be a fear reaction.
A little bit. I'm
no psychiatrist, but coming from a bunch of eggheads who wouldn't recognize the thrill of danger if it walked up and snapped their little pink bras, that sounds like projection.
Again, it's so 50s.
Beach or bring back the gold? No, sir, we did. It's you and me against the world, son. I like your grit. Hustle could use some work, though. Now let's solve this thing.
Oh my god, it's so like... Because that was like the era where it's like, we're the generation that did this. Stayed into those pencil neck geeks. You know, it's so like, you know, it feels very like, 50s, like looking down on... And people still do look down on like scientists and all this stuff nowadays too. But like this time they were calling them nerds. You know, like all these nerds. These freaking nerds. Oh man, was this Saw? Saw trap? So we have to get this block out of here somehow. There is an opening here. Is there goop? There is goop here. So off you drop the goop down in it. It's bouncing the block out. Oh! No way. No way, that's so fun! I know it's a bouncy block. That's superb. Where'd it go? That's superb. I love that. It's just like how it interacts with the world in such a normal way. Oh, is there a way to clean it? There is. Look at that. That's so awesome. You know what I mean? It feels so real the way it interacts with the world. Can we not? Do we have to drop it? We don't. Okay. Like the way it just shatters the glass like that. That's so fun. Okay. So we have to get it. Now that's down here. We have to get up there somehow. So really we'd have to drop some stuff here, right? And do this. But then we'd have to get rid of the block somehow. So we just bounce it, right? So cool. Is that it?
Science isn't about why, it's about why not. Why is so much of our science dangerous? Why not marry safe science if you love it so much? In fact, why not invent a special safety door that won't hit you on the butt on the way out because you are fired. Now you test subject, you're doing fine. Yes, you. Box your stuff. Out the front door. Goodbye.
Why don't you marry safety tips if you like it so much? I don't know. Like invent a door doesn't hit you on the way out was very, very funny too. It's very comedic. I guess I'm just like, for some, I think these puzzles are like very fun to me, and maybe, and like here's the thing, it's like I wonder if like we're just doing pretty okay on them because like you can randomly find the answer in these ones through just like, hey, let's throw some gel in it, you know? I feel like you can find the answer just being like, what if we throw some gel? A little bit more gel. I do like that we're just back into testing though. What a cool way of doing it. I probably missed out on some stuff as well, guys. As I said, I will go back at the end of the series and go back and look at any cubby holes I missed or any like documents or pictures or whatever. We'll definitely go look for them as well. For sure. Oh, music has changed a bit, right?
Congratulations. The simple fact that you're standing here listening to me means you've made a glorious
Whoa, we
contribution.
finished our trials.
As founder and CEO of Aperture Science, I thank you for your participation and hope we can count on you for another round of tests.
No.
We're not going to release this stuff into the wild until it's good and damn ready, so as long as you keep yourself in top physical form, there will always be a limo waiting for you.
The limo was
Say
what
goodbye,
brought us here,
Carolyn.
right?
Goodbye, Carolyn.
She is a gem.
Even the way he's like, she is a gem, it sounds so much like the info, like, you know, videos they would put in like cartoons, like to mimic the 50s, you know, like, you know, respecting people in the workplace. Carolyn, have you got those files ready? Come right up, sir. Ain't she a gem? You know, it's so like those old, like outdated stuff things, you know, it's really outdated. 1971. I didn't even know that there was a 7 and a 1 that existed. I didn't know 9 existed either because I thought 7, 8, 9. We're back into the kind of like the kind of dinginess of this. It was already dingy, but I feel like, you know, this is very like, you know, decadent of the salt mines. Thank you for your participation. No problem. Elevator to the surface. Cave Johnson. Wait. No way. They boarded off the exit? That's painful. Right? There is this. No, I thought you could. Oh, you could hit it. Okay. I thought they were gonna say you can't hit it. Can we hit through the glass? Huh. It doesn't seem like we can actually go through the exit. Let's check out here as well. Unless we have to go over there, which is a possibility, right? Yeah. I thought we'd have to... no, yeah, it makes sense they're not letting us go to the exit, I suppose. It makes sense that they would also cordon off the exit too. For sure. Pump station beta, and that's your workout room. My workout room's the alpha. Your one's the beta. Just remember that, okay? Me making YouTube videos. 10 ways to get your workout room to be alpha. And make all the workout room betas cry. Rule number 1, send me money for my course. Rule number 2, you didn't pay your money for the course. Oh, look at this. Rule number 3, where's my money? Rule number 4, I'm not a grifter. Let's check this. I'd say, again, these areas are so cool. They really are. I really like them quite a bit. More gel flow. Cave Johnson, never heard of him. Johnson Cave, might have heard of him. This lighting here looks so cool. Just like this lone light on the dark wall. Really, really neat. Really neat stuff. Yeah, I think this is probably a good place to end this video, guys, so we don't go into something too deeper. We finished your trials and stuff like that too, and I think it's a really cool thing as well. Really, this episode was like so much fun for me. And here's the thing, all the episodes are super, super, super fun, but I feel like this was like a much of a calm down from like the stuff that happened last episode, which was needed. And I think it was also like, you know, in a way, I think they don't give you the story all at once. They kind of give you like indications of what was happening and the reasoning behind stuff as well. My estimation of my story and my idea of it now, don't confirm or deny anything, by the way, until we get to the end of the story, because it's one of those things where like, I know sometimes I can act like I'm asking a question, but really I'm just thinking about myself, right? My estimation of the story right now is that Cave Johnson was a curtain salesman who found a future in science, but it seems like he definitely handled more of the corporate side of things and the dealing with the government and all this stuff too than the actual scientists themselves, it seems. And he was doing stuff for the military, whether it be pumping people with gasoline, making mantis warriors, all this different stuff, making people pee coal, all these different experiments. And he got to a point where the scientific advancements seemed to be like just the idea of making advancements for advancement's sake. It's like the more advances you make, the more money we can make, the more things we can test and sell and all this stuff too. And it's to the point that like he even said like we're throwing whatever science stuff we can at the wall to see what sticks. We're seeing whatever we can do to see what sticks. And it probably is because he got awards from like the government, right, for doing some testing for the government. And I wonder if it is like something to do with that as well. I don't know if I just like made up the military aspect. I think I did see that last episode. I might be wrong. You guys might be like, what are you talking about military? But it just seems that way, right? With the Mantis stuff and stuff, I guess, too, the Mantis soldiers and the testing of the Mantis soldiers. And it was the US government that did like, reward him. So maybe there's that too. And he created this facility back in the 50s after buying a salt mine. And he used to limo people to these testing facilities so they would be tested out and they could test out different experiments, whether it be now we test out the repulsion gel, people becoming mantis warriors, all these different things. Some of them would just be thrown to the wolves and killed. And in a lot of ways, the nature of this Cave Johnson guy, to me, is obviously I have a very low opinion of him. He's very corporate. He's very not nice. He's very evil in his own way, but he's evil in the sense of like all those type of characters that you would see from, not even a character, but he's very 50s in a sense that like he's anti-regulations personified, if that makes sense, where it's very clear that he doesn't adhere to anything that people say. He believes the regulations are for sissies and, if you love them so much, why do you marry him? It's very clear he had a team of scientists that were trying to be like, this isn't safe, this is bad, we shouldn't do this, which is ironic because Aperture seemed to advance at a rate that is pretty freaking insane to the point that they didn't ever really stop doing experiments it's that question in Jurassic Park, right? I forget that quote, but it's like you spend so much time figuring out how you're going to do it. You didn't figure out if you should do it, right? And I know it's like something like that. I know it's a bad quote because like a lot of this stuff here, even in modern day Aperture, with the stuff we saw with GLaDOS and stuff, I guess too, is like stuff that like you shouldn't do. Like the making of an AI consciousness that is a real consciousness, right? That can think for itself and all this stuff is going to lead to like, some damaging possibilities, especially since they have so much intelligence that they can like, that they would probably even like, as you've seen what happened to GLaDOS and what she's had to have done to her with the dampening, all that stuff too. But it's very clear that Cave Johnson was pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing this stuff to the point that he had to fire some people even because they were like going against his idea of regulations. And when I say he's very corporate, it's not just in the fact that he's like, trying to make money off this stuff. It's also in the way that he speaks to us. There's like a real thing about Cave Johnson I think is actually really interesting is that he will try to get us on his side constantly, which is a very much I don't know if you've ever had like a manager or an owner of a business who's like very like kind of a bit sleazy, kind of like very like, I don't know, you can tell he's not being completely genuine. And in this sense, I feel like what I'm getting from Cave Johnson is like the idea where he's like, he brings you there in a limo. You feel important. Wow, this must be a really big deal. You come to these experiments, and as you're doing the experiments, he makes everything feel very normalized. Oh, you don't have tumors yet? Okay, well, let's give you a tumor. You don't have this, so this should have happened to you if you're peeing coal. It makes it all seem very normal because again, he's so charismatic that he's kind of making it sound like it's just a normalized thing. It's like, oh yeah, like you're peeing coal. Like, of course you would. Like that makes sense. And then like stuff like, for example, when he's shouting at his fellow workers, he's turning to us and he's trying to make us feel like we're amazing, the idea of like, oh, like, you're different. You're not like these guys. Me and you were the same. We're the type of people that like built this country. We fought in the wars and all this stuff too, which again is very like boomer talk in a lot of ways. And he's trying to make us like feel like, and the person who's doing the test feel motivated in a very corporate way, which again, the reason I think I keep saying the word corporate because a lot of corporate managers will do the thing where it's like, Clancy, I think that you have a big future in this company. I really do. I think you have a massive future in this company. But one of the things I really think is that not everyone has the same future in this company. Don't you think? I think so. Like, I think in 10 years' time, Clancy, you could be the manager. You could be the manager. But the thing is, I really feel like the project that Jonathan is working on right now is a detriment to the company. So I'm thinking that you stop pushing for that project with you and Jonathan, and you climb up the corporate ladder, and you can do something so amazing. You know, that type of thing where he's trying to make you feel like you're amazing. You know, you're a go getter. You're fantastic. You go for it. You know, and in reality, we're going through these torturous and crazy experiments that have clearly killed people and injured people. But it's okay because you're getting a limo ride home, and you're getting a limo ride here, and you'll make some money. You'll forward everything for science, right? The idea of everything's for science. And I think it's also an interesting thing where like GLaDOS had the same type of mentality where she truly believed everything was for like the greater good. Doing experiments on us was for the greater good. It's for the best. But the difference is that Cave Johnson's a human. GLaDOS is a machine. There's almost like a little bit of forgiveness in GLaDOS where it's like GLaDOS is not technically living, even though she is a consciousness. Whereas Cave Johnson was a human who decided that this was okay to do, right? And I wonder if it is like GLaDOS just has the mentality of Aperture from all the way back then embedded into her, and that's the way she feels right now, where GLaDOS is constantly, you know, like she has the values of Aperture, even though the people who created her wanted her to not be psychotic and murderous. The problem is that because she was created by a company that's values that were since the beginning were a disregard for people's safety and a disregard for humans. I wonder if that aspect does like, you know, infect the process. Maybe not because I know it's a machine, but you know what I mean? If she was able to get all the data from Aperture's history, which she can, right? She can do all that stuff. Like if Wheatley could do it, she could do it. Is there a thing where like she was able to be like, well, this is Aperture. Like killing everyone with the neurotoxin is for the greater good. You guys are holding this place back. Putting you through these tests, Shell, is for the greater good. It's for the betterment of science. And that's what, and I think Cave Johnson, when he says the word science, for me, it's like he sees science as a business, right? He sees science as like, I can do something with this, right? Because I think they made an effort to show that he was a salesman beforehand. What some people might see as a charlatan, right? They made an effort to show that beforehand because that means you know he has a background in sales. He's trying to sell you something. And the way he talks to these scientists, the way he disregards their opinions, he calls them like nerds and like all these geeks or whatever they used to call them. It definitely seems that he cares less about the science and more about the corporate side of it. And things like this too. At least that's my estimation. That's my estimation of what's happening here. In terms of the actual gameplay itself, the new bouncy mechanic is awesome. I love the jumping from place to place. It's so fun. I think the reason why these puzzles went so well for me today personally, I know some people might say like they didn't, but for me, they went well for me, in my opinion, because a lot of these puzzles, you can just like literally go, oh, let's just throw some goop on it and see if it works, which is really fun. I love the new mechanics now. I loved exploring this place as well. Seeing all the different, like the salt mine location is such a crazy, terrifying place because it's so gigantic. It feels like a lost world. It feels like an apocalyptic world. So it actually is fun to explore. But that's just my estimation of like it as well. It feels very apocalyptic to me, and it feels very it feels like it tells a story in its creaks. It feels like it tells a story when you're wandering around the place. You feel you hear the creaking. The floor is like sounds a bit weird.
Will you be joining us? Then it's settled.
I love the real platforming where like you're just interacting with this world in a very real way, walking on the pipes, jumping through the different areas, using real momentum like as you did in the first game. But this time GLaDOS isn't helping us with that this time. All this stuff is like really, really cool, and actually was a really great break from the horrors of the last game as well. I actually had like a really great time. Not that I don't have a great time all the time, but I'm talking about like in terms of like chill vibes. While this was still scary at times, I actually found these experiments to be really, really fun. And I think it was a great choice to have them right after the stuff with the GLaDOS boss and the Wheatley betrayal, because it actually kind of like dissipates the tension in a way that's not... The tension is still there because you're wondering, is Wheatley going to show up, or is GLaDOS, where's GLaDOS, all this stuff, that tension's still there. But the contrast is a good thing. It's a good thing to have like just like big, serious, crazy moment, aftermath of crazy moment, and then comedic timing with Cave Johnson and a really fun new mechanic. I love the contrast. Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. If you want to see this episode early, you can see it on Patreon and YouTube members for €1 or $1.50, I think it is. It might be $1.60, but I'm not sure. And it is, this episode, for example, was uploaded on Wednesday. So you can see this on Wednesday. Now, again, I want to make it clear to everyone, 2 episodes of Portal 2 a month will be just on time or a few hours early, because it's one of those situations where In Roma Reacts weeks, like next week, for example, the Tuesday episode doesn't get really uploaded as early because Roma Reacts is a whole thing and all this stuff too. It takes 8 hours to record all this stuff. So I won't have the Portal episode recorded in time, but the other episodes are always early, at the very least a day early, and sometimes 2 days early. In this case, this episode was uploaded on Wednesday. It was like 5 days early before Sunday, and that's going to be every 2 weeks. It's going to be 5 days early, some days 2 days, some days 1 day, but it will be early. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching this, and thank you guys. If you want to join Patreon at any level, you can see that down below. It's all down below, including the names on the screen. And what I'm about to read out now, which is the €15 tier, which is getting your name read out verbally. TieFire02, Jamie Bull, Janice Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicitas Felix, Yuld, Anusta, Assassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Leon, High Kasperian, Jerabinum, Neo Sharite, and at the highest tier of my YouTube, Royal Gamer 7, Blasco, and Lucinagi. See you guys soon. Bye bye.